Welcome, Climate Viewers. This is Jim Lee from ClimateViewer News. It's January 20th, 2018, and I just got back from the American Meteorological Society's 98th annual conference, and I have been completely under the weather since, as some of you may have heard. I may be a little short of breath today. Please bear with me. This is the soonest I've been able to make this video. So I came home with a pretty gnarly, what I thought to be flu. Of course, the people in the emergency room 2 days ago told me they have no clue what I have. Shout out to modern science. But regardless, we survived. We are here, and I am doing this broadcast to give you guys a summary of my experience and what to expect in the near future. So, as you know, I went over to Austin, Texas on the 9th of January and spent a week over there and saw some weather modification dudes talk about some weather modification stuff. And the purpose of all this, of course, was to talk about my solution to weather warfare, the Environmental Modification Accountability Act. And that went very well. I met my personal hero, James Roger Fleming. We had a great interview. Cannot wait to put that out there for you guys. I did put a video out on my YouTube. Ooh, I'm sharing from a big screen. Let's not mess this up for you guys. I put a video out. It was an interview with Mark Anderson. It's called Jim Lee, Weather Warfare and the AMS Weather Modification Conference 2018. And garbled in that one because there was like a bum rush of people coming from the floor, and suddenly there was all the room noise in the world. But regardless, to all those haters and naysayers shatting upon my audio quality, I put no effort into it, guys. I had 102 temperature and everybody was dying to see something. So I put a video up. That'll wet your whistle. Know that I have a ton of material to pour through that will be coming in a video shortly. But here's the synopsis. Basically, we got our footage. We came, we saw, we kicked ass. I got tons of footage to show you guys. It's going to be coming in a documentary. My wife and I are working on that. We did get the NMOD Accountability Act discussed in multiple forums with people like Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Vaisala. Gotta love that. I've been saying that wrong for years. Hung out with a family-owned business, Anemoment. They've got like an anemometer. It's a wind direction, speed, and does humidity, temperature, and all that, all in one of the world's tiniest units. Looks like that. Cool. Pretty darn cool. We'll talk about it in the documentary. Because that's right up our line. I wanted to find something that we could build into our ClimateViewer, and I did that. I got to talk to a whole lot of sensor guys and things like that. So hold on one second. My wife, there you go, baby. All right, so we got to do that. I went around table to table, basically asking some tough questions. One of my favorite highlights from the week was the U.S. Naval Research Lab. You guys are going to freaking die when you see this interview. It gets better. I went over to the Raytheon booth, put on their little VR goggles, and got lost hanging out with the F-18 pilot, playing with augmented reality. When he dropped the bombshell, oh, by the way, Raytheon's going to replace all of the NEXRADs in America. Oh, my God. Things like that happen to plenty. So I have so much to report, I can barely stand it. In fact, I have not been standing. I've been laid in a bed for a week and a half. But my wife is helping me pour through this footage. We're gonna, get it all right now. Apparently, we have to write down everything we said. Wow. I've never made a documentary, guys, but if you're gonna do something, do it right. And my intention is to take this footage, marry it with what I know about history, tie a bow on that with our solution, and explain to all of you as clearly and as succinctly as possible in one film why this is a necessity, how the solution will work, and all of the evidence you need to prove your case beyond a shadow of a doubt in a court of law in one film. Now, that's a pretty tall order, but that's what we're going to do. I ain't Michael Murphy. I ain't a lot of things. I'm not a documentary filmmaker, but I can promise you this, it's going to be beautiful.
I love you.
I love you. You're leaving. Okay, I'll see you soon, baby. So we're gonna take this film, we're gonna flesh it out, and let me get back to stop rambling. Bear with me, it's been a hell of a ride. So the guys from UCAR, I was particularly impressed with, and I really didn't expect to be, because of their strong ties to weather modification research and UCAR, NCAR. But what really blew me away about them was everything on their table was open source. I was sitting there with my hand on my forehead going, wow. So one of the really cool things they had, which goes in line with our ClimateViewer idea, is that they actually provide open source details so that you can build your own. And as you can see, that's made out of PVC right there. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is the gentleman that designed it for UCAR. I got his info and all that. And, I don't know if I got it right here, but pretty much right there on the table below me, you're going to see that there's a 3D printable designs for all this stuff that are open source as well. So it's going to be pretty freaking amazing. Shout out to UCAR. I really, really enjoyed my interviews with them. They had a ton of, educational material for homeschooling and all that stuff. It's amazing what you learn in person when you meet a person. And they were pretty amenable to my discussions about weather modification. I was pretty impressed with that. Across the hall from them, Unidata. Unidata does a lot of the data collection for UCAR and other scientists. Talk to their main engineer programmer dude over there. We're going to hook up NetCDF so I can get some real data all over the new ClimateViewer that's coming out soon. That being the website. Working on that right now. And it got pretty interesting. Like I said, I was over at the Raytheon booth, shooting the breeze, playing with a video game. And, they let drop that they were replacing the NEXRADs with omnidirectional radars. What that means is, instead of all these 750,000 watt WSR 88D Doppler radar NEXRADs that swing around in a circle, they're going to replace them all with little baby harps, because they're phased array radars. That's what Raytheon does. 4 phased array Raytheon little radars on a single tower, so that it points in every direction same time. That's called omnidirectional, and it would replace the sweeping of the old style Doppler radars all same time. Details on that in the film. So they also dropped one other big bombshell, and that was that they had this AWIPS program, which was basically a ripoff of the open source AWIPS 2, which comes from the Unidata UCAR guys. Raytheon took a open source product, made it better. That's what companies do. They made it beautiful and made it on a touch screen and everything. And then let me know that basically every single National Weather Service station in America has its weather data fed through Raytheon's AWIPS. And I want everybody in the effing audience to sit there and mull on that for a second. If in every single office has a computer display that the National Weather Service gets its data from, and it's visualized, means turned into graphics they can see by a program made by Raytheon, a defense contractor. So there are lots of revelations that I had along the way. And unfortunately, right as, well, we won't get there yet. But anyway, did interview some scientists. Bob Cotton, William Cotton, old school cloud seeder, was in the, quote, same building when they were working on Project Storm Fury, the hurricane modification project by NOAA. And I interviewed Daniel Rosenfeld, Hebrew University of Jerusalem. He had previously given a speech at this conference on 50 years of cloud seeding in Jerusalem, and was I can't say that's off the record. And he was, basically during our discussion, we got into chemtrails and the cloud seeding of cirrus clouds and geoengineering. And he made the very matter-of-fact statement, well, it is geoengineering. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness. So sorry about that, guys. Yeah, so, and that's him right there. So this is my off the record, but this is my on the record one. And we'll definitely get through all of these. Who am I leaving out here? Got the U car. Oh, we saw Raphael O'Neal. She was there. Where did that go? Right there. And we talked a little bit about her recent revelations with some NEXRAD related hurricane stuff. So there was that, and you can see the background there and everything. I don't want to give away the cake, guys. I got a lot of really good stuff in here, and I could literally play clip after clip and, wet your whistle over and over again, but let's not do that. I want you guys to see this Raytheon thing real quick, though. That's not it. That's not it. That may be it. Let's find out. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, that's the Raytheon, guys. Can we get to the middle? Oh, yeah. So this is the future of weather, guys. How cool do I look with that crap on? I think they were scanning my eyeballs the whole time. I was like, you guys are creeping me out, man. But yeah, so this dude's like going, hey, man, there's like weather here. He's like, I can even change the weather on this display. And I'm like, hey, can you get rid of that real quick? And the dude's like, yeah, all I got to do is like pinch and then sweep my hand. And I'm like, dude, you just changed the weather like a boss. So there's nothing on the table there, but you can see right there. That's what it's looking like, is what's on the screen over there, except I can see it fully in 3D, rotated, walk around it. They didn't want to drop the ball on what that thing is, but I finally was able to find one. I might buy one for myself and hook it up to ClimateViewer 3D, because whatever Raytheon's got, I want. So that's called a Microsoft Holo. Dang it, Holo something. I got a bookmark. Go look it up in a second. Somebody in chat, help a brother out here, man. It's called a Holo something. A Holo this, a Holo that, Holo back. I'll have to find it. Microsoft Hololens. Boom. Bookmark's good. I don't know. You tell me. That look like what I got on my head? So Raytheon hooked up a HoloLens to this 3D display cesium crap that I'm using in my map so that they can do some augmented reality cool stuff. Augmented reality is the wave of the future. And of course, the weather warfare warriors would love to have the ability to visualize the tornadoes they're steering. Maybe you could even reach out, just stick your finger in the top of the tornado and flick it. Oh, that's sick. Anyway, it's called a HoloLens. Yep. Pretty dang sure that's what's on my head there. Yep. See a little orange? Yep. Okay. So I'd never heard of that. But I got to play with one. It's pretty freaking amazing. It works similar to what's in the cockpits of the Apache Longbow, the F-18 Hornet. There was an actual full heads-up display in the thing, virtually, over on the side, Minority Report style. I'm sorry, I get off on these tech things. I am a nerd first and foremost, but I was an investigative journalist through us, I promise. So yeah, I got a bunch of great information out of them, and then I dropped the ball. I'm like, so you guys still cooking the ionosphere? Every head in the booth like whipped around so fast. Oh my god, it was epic. So I promise you, this video, this documentary thing we're working on, it's gonna be pretty freaking amazing. You know, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who donated and helped make this possible. You know, I really don't have the nerves for this kind of stuff. It's just the truth of the matter. I have Graves' disease. I have no business out there doing this crap half the time. But you know, nobody else is going to do it right. So there you go. I had to go do it. And that's why, guys, I appreciate your help, you know, with this GoFundMe. I swear I'm gonna update my website. Nobody needs to help me go there anymore. I've just been too sick to update a thing. So stay tuned on the website. I will be posting updates, videos and clips related to this on my NMod page. It's climateviewer.com/NMod. And when you come over here, you know, please remember that this presentation is yours. It's free to download. It's PowerPoint right here. It's also available on Google Slides. You can email this to anyone, backed up by some serious research, legal history. Jim Fleming, when I was there, said, "This is Jim, you to me, Jim to Jim, you have a very important role to play here." 2 days later, we were removed from the conference under some questionable scenario, but at the end of the day, it's much more, after figuring out the full story, it was much more complicated than I originally thought. And let's just say that some of our cyber stalker buddies on Facebook who hate people who talk about chemtrails were nefarious, filled the AMS staff with fear that they did not need to have. And as a result, our trip there was cut short early. One thing that we've clarified, our position, being me, ClimateViewer News, and the public's, that this misunderstanding will not happen again. I have been invited back to the next one. I will be there for that. But nonetheless, even with a day and a half cut short of our trip and our press passes revoked, we still got enough footage that could more than cover everything we need. I sure would have appreciated a hell of a lot more B-roll to play with, but guess what? WeatherModificationHistory.com, ClimateViewer.com, and ClimateViewer.org. I got all the B-roll I could ever need. So the only thing that's really left to do with this footage, I guess, is to, you know, put it together so that you guys can see, you know, what all went down, who was there, whys and what fors, and what we plan to do about it. And I think you guys know what I plan to do about it, and that's get this NMod law addendum signed. So far, Jim Fleming says, important role to play here. We need something like this. Why only 48 hours? David Keith, most hated geoengineer on the planet, says, Jim, I agree that this is a solution that we need. Why only 48 hours? And I will help you get this, lobby this as, to make this a reality. Dr. Renaud Richter, this is a necessity. Going down the list, there's a lot of people that try. The difference between a lot of people and me is I always win because I don't set my goals too high that they're unachievable. I am persistent. That is the number one quality a person needs to be successful. You must be persistent beyond all measure. No flu, no threats, no intimidation. Nothing will stop this truth train from coming, guys. So I really appreciate your support. I appreciate all the people who were smart enough to see through all of the bull crap. That Jim's the shill, Jim's of this, Jim's of that. I don't care what you people say. By now, everybody knows. And the fakes will be the fakes, and the fakes will promise things they cannot deliver upon. And they would certainly never go here because they would be laughed out of the room. Unfortunately for these people, I cannot be laughed at easily because I had all the facts with me in my little book. I was ready to rock. And we killed it. I mean, we killed it, guys. So Jerry did an amazing job. Great job on the footage. All of the footage sounds great, except for that one clip I put out earlier. Kind of a coincidence. And I tried to look into how to remove crowd noise from the background. Post-recording, not so cool, but I found out about a noise-canceling mic I intend to get. Just one second. Oh, man. So originally my intentions were to try to, do some kind of big thing with this footage and, maybe make $1 or $2 off of it. But things have really gotten sideways. Jerry was originally going to help me make the film. Now he's kind of just dumped the footage in my lap. So I have to deal with that. In addition, he's saying I owe him some money for the camera work because we're not going to actually be splitting proceeds from some grand film in the future. So I've got to figure that out. I'm like $2,500 in debt to that guy leaving the conference. And I've been sick for a week and a half. So I'm about $3,000 in the hole. I've missed 2 weeks of my life. My wife had to take care of my 2 kids and her grandmother with Alzheimer's, who's 85, and my sick butt for a week straight. My wife is a hero. I wish you guys could donate directly to her. But regardless, we will find a way, and I am still going to release every bit of this footage for free, period. Because I want the truth to go as far as possible, and I don't want it hiding behind some paywall like most of the crap I saw at this conference. So that's where we're at. I'm gonna have to figure it out. I'm a big boy. We can do that. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put together probably something between an hour to an hour and a half. This is what I foresee. Typical, film style film. And then once it's done and released, I'm going to take each of these interviews and I will release them in their entirety as well. So that they are, because I'm obviously going to have to cut a lot of that to make it fit in the film. But I want each interview to be heard the way it was. Also, I don't want to step on the toes of the people I interviewed either. That's unfair as well. So, documentary as soon as possible. I don't know how long it's going to take. I will keep you updated. but I'm going to make sure it's done right. And then all the clips will be dumped very quickly afterwards, and I'll put them all in a big, huge playlist so that, you know, this is documented for posterity. And, man, you know, it's been a crazy week. That's all I can say. Very, very crazy week. Hope that, you guys will keep the attention on this. I hope that you guys will take the, NMod solution, the slides, run it around, and keep oh man, you know what? This is where it gets fun. What I'd actually thought about doing in this video was getting, you know, like a public discussion going, you know, about weather warfare and all that. But I really just wanted to summarize how the week went, let everybody know that I'm alive. But, you know, dumbasses like Matthew B, gotta love them, man. It's motherfuckers like you that make the world go round. You're the best. So, on that note, I just would like to also, well, let's just leave his dumb ass up in chat. Bring this up. For 7 years, I've done this. For 7 years, I have endured stress beyond your wildest freaking imagination. I've received at least 100 death threats. I've had my police department tweeted that I was a pedophile 2,000 times. I've had over 750 videos made about me on YouTube, including ones with penises in my mouth. I have endured stalking from people who think I believe things I don't even believe, who literally come to the EPA hearing saying they're going to kick my ass, but then when I look them dead in their eye, they run like little wet fish. I had at least 100 people, you know, a day going, Jim, please be careful. The CIA's going to kill you on this trip. The stress. I find my happy in my family, in my home. Most of the time I go, I don't need this shit. I barely want it anymore. And I'm only doing it till I see this through. A, for my daughters. B, because I know that it's a necessity, and I know that none of the other pricks who talk about geoengineering will ever fucking do a thing about it. And C, because I can. So I'm going to go get this thing to the State Department with the help of all these people for the 7 damn years of hard work I did to make weather modification and geoengineering as publicly available to everybody simultaneously as ever. And all the thousands of freaking leeching ass YouTube channel superstar jockeys who have used my shit over the years just to make a buck, just to make sure nobody ever sees ClimateViewer 3D, any of this work. Bravo to you as well. Doesn't change a thing. We're changing history here. The people in that room at the AMS. So to Matthew B, this guy ain't saying anything interesting. Am I interesting now, motherfucker? Because I could be as flamboyant as you like. This ain't about my AdSense dollars. Pull that shit. What this is about is the truth, a solution, pragmatism, This ain't your info fucking tainment. I am not that guy. I'm not here to give you giggles or jollies up your leg because I pump fear porn down your ass every day. There are a billion YouTube channels that can fill you with fear porn. So I hope that everybody will take a look at the solution right here, flip through it, because it's an idea whose time has come. And there's going to be a lot of little Matthew B. bitches crying, bitching, and moaning about how Jim doesn't believe in chemtrails, or Jim's a part of the Illuminati, or it doesn't work anymore. It does not work anymore. So I'm really enjoying where we're at. I'm very proud of what I've accomplished. You can read all about that on the About page of ClimateViewer, where my list of references from credible scientists around the world and books and all that shit just keeps growing. Because this self-taught dude from Sumter, South Carolina, whose father owns a trailer park but used to launch nuclear missiles, who was raised in a trailer park, has been cited on energy.gov, freaking go through it. My stuff's been stolen by Will Burns, geoengineer from DC. Just go through it. There's nobody like me. I don't need to hear it from little bitches like you any longer. What I do need to hear is people resonate. Something positive, solution-based. It's right there. It's called the Environmental Modification Accountability Act. I presented it at the AMS. People were either shocked or supportive. Most were supportive and shocked. And this is just the beginning, guys. Sad part is I've had the same solution for 5 years. It was called the Clarity Clause. Nobody even paid it a bit of attention. Too busy talking about chemtrails. But now we're at a point where I think that everybody realizes who the real problem are. And that, you know, maybe we should do something about all this stuff. So I'm glad that I can see a change in the general consensus that people are tired of snake oil salesmen who have websites devoted to geoengineering but don't really want to stop it, who are more concerned about Arctic methane than really, you know, being honest about anything on their website. We're not going to call any names because people are small. But guys, now I truly am rambling. Let me go dig my chat back up. But that's what happens when you're still sick. And James, give him a break. I don't want any of my non-friends beating up poor Matthew B because this guy's just bitching and mooning. Everyone has problems, nigga. Well, nigga, why don't you move on? Because we don't even care. Don't even care. Don't care what you got to say. Appreciate ya. So, guys, no, Dane Wigington's a piece of shit. He is not to be talked about around me. Fuck that guy. Dane Wigington stole my patent list, had a lawyer threaten to sue me when I tried to copyright flag his ass, saying, you have no copyright on your own patent list you created, duh. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess so, but still, you're a faggot for stealing it. And he stole everything on his website. I could go through the list. He's got the article, Everything You Want to Know About HAARP, VLF, and ELF, and all that. Dane Wigington stole that from a guy named Dutch Sense. I should go tell Dutch Sense. Dutch Sense pretty fucking crazy. So, and Dutch Sense got like 300,000 subscribers, and like Dane's dumbass. So, and I handed Dutch his ass over HAARP in 2012. So it's a small world. But yeah, everything on Dane's website was stolen or written by somebody else. He does not understand any of it. He has refused to debate me since I whipped his ass in a debate in 2013. And he is a complete fraud. Please stop talking about Dane Wigington around me. Ugh. All right. So guys, movie coming soon. I am going to take it slow. I'm just getting to where I can walk around today. I literally was laid up in the bed, sweating profusely with 102 2 days ago. The earth is not flat, dumbass Matt B. cock-chode choker. Go away. Can I ban this fag? Swear to God. And remove. Matthew, not the. I don't want to. I want to kick him out. How do I ban this punk ass? Go to channel. Put user in time out. Oh, that's so hilarious. Why would people call in my thing? All right. Get thee behind me, Satan. So, if Burby's wanted, old Matthew be out. Anyway, so learn once again, Dane Wigington were a politician, he would be the Hillary Clinton of chemtrails and the Donald Trump of chemtrails. Because I do not give a fuck. And I will say whatever I think. Whenever I like. All right. All right. So you guys have a wonderful evening. It's going to be a beautiful day. Apparently it's going to warm up here on the southeast. I hope to catch a little bit of sunlight because I'm desperately needing some vitamin D. And I will be putting out these clips in the near future. Documentary is going to be epic. Please spread around the NMOD solution. It's desperately needed right now because everybody else is just talking fear porn. And unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, it's going to have to be more than me. Nothing's going to get better. It's not. Love you, mean it.